Have you ever had a movie that you've watched and you just don't know where you stand with it?
Yes.
That's this week's movie for me.
Not for me.
Well, you knew right away.
I did. I knew within the first 30 minutes.
I've wrestled with this one for years.
Yes.
But I have come to a conclusion.
You finally got a beat on it.
Yes. And that is discussed in the show that follows.
Which is, I will say, it's been a while since we talked about a movie the way we talk about this one.
Yeah. Well, it hasn't been that long. We've had some.
All right. Fair
Fairly
enough.
recent for various reasons, but there are some lessons to be learned here.
Are there?
Well, yeah, we cover quite a few.
I know. There's
a super important one.
The principal guiding light of this podcast is that there are lessons in every movie.
Yes.
Even this one.
Yes. Every movie has a lesson.
Even if you don't want there to be a lesson.
Well, how that lesson comes about, I mean, that's not up to us.
That's true.
At all. But there it is.
We just say it like we see it.
Oh, and we saw.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
I was looking at one of the foamies that doesn't quite line up there. I think it's one of the ones that got trimmed.
No, where?
Up above Gambit.
Oh, no, it's just they
don't line up.
Well, yeah, it was a thing. Yeah.
Jim redid our wall foams in our studio today.
Oh, God, yeah, hours of taking them down, sorting them, because we had a batch that were bad. Yeah. They didn't stay. The adhesive, no adhesive worked with them. And yeah, it was kind of a thing. But anyway. So, shall we get into this movie?
You don't want to talk about the foams for an hour?
No. We'll talk about it next week.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hey there, B-Siders. Welcome to another episode of Bravo for the B-Side. This is Dani.
And this is Jim.
And today, we're talking about a classic film.
Is it really a classic?
Well, if you look under classic and cult films and stuff, it appears there.
Yeah.
Based on a book.
Yeah.
I was under the impression that you liked this movie.
Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
So I've seen this several times. And I wanted to do it because I still don't quite understand a lot of things.
Yeah, I would like to
I don't know how I feel about it. I do. Watching it this last time.
Yeah.
My notes are kind of snarky.
Are they?
A little bit, yeah.
And you were so ambivalent about my very vocal feelings about this movie.
No, I wanted to save it for this.
I see. So here's what I want to do.
Okay.
I want to rip through this movie and then rip apart this movie.
Sure.
Okay.
So I'm looking at the episode information here.
Yeah.
You have the year wrong. This was not made in 2020.
You're right. Hold on. Let me fix it.
Well, while you're doing that, listeners, I'm going to apologize. My voice is going to be a little weird because did a little yelling today. Did a full Malcolm Tucker, for those of you who are fans of Thick of It.
Yeah, for fuck's sake.
What?
Not you yelling,
just
the reason you had to yell.
Yeah. You know,
I wish we had clips of Malcolm Tucker because I would like play them just intermittently.
What, to relive my my tirade?
Yeah.
Had to deal with our daughter's school, and this is an ongoing thing. It has been. Madison has some, good qualities. Got to tell you, folks, if you got kids, don't move here. Wait till they graduate and you move here as empty nesters, or if you move here and then you have kids, get out. Yeah.
They're about as much use as a marzipan dildo.
Exactly. I didn't use that, but oh man.
So dense that light bends around them.
I let the expletives fly. And, sadly, you need to put these people in their place. And it's funny because, traditionally we are supporters of teachers and, all that stuff. Yeah. And we've talked about it before, but holy fucking Christ.
Well, that's the thing. Like if Lily's in the wrong about something, we're absolutely not on her side.
No. And she knows it.
Yeah.
She knows that we'll, call her to the carpet, and because, that's what you're supposed to teach your kids.
Yeah.
Accountability, consequences, you can move forward, but you can't just like glaze over.
Right.
You got to own it and do whatever needs to be done and then just move forward. But this was not at all the case. And school was 100% in the wrong. And, like I told you, earlier, eventually people figure out you don't want to fucking talk to me. Yeah. Don't offer to fucking, well, let's have a phone call because I will just fucking eviscerate you. And I'm not like that normally. I'm a pleasant person. I'm courteous.
Yes.
I had a phone call, before dinner, and I was polite and courteous, and I just don't need to be that way normally. Not talking about being courteous, but Malcolm Tucker-ish. But there's a few things in my world that will set me off. And I've said it before. When you fuck around with my daughter, I will burn your fucking soul.
Yeah.
And I make no apologies. I don't believe in PC speech, anything. No, you impacted something that is most precious to me.
Yes.
And I will make you sorry that your parents ever fucking met. Anyway, so there was volume and a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, all of that, I'm going to be a little wobbly.
It's okay.
Words, just say.
I will pick it up because I have opinions.
Oh, baby.
I have opinions.
All right.
Strong opinions.
Yeah. So let's real quick before we get in, let's talk about this set shooting.
Okay.
On Rush.
Yeah.
Or Rust. Rust. A lot of people are at fault.
Yeah, this seems like a massive fuck up on a number of levels.
This was an accident waiting to happen. Mm-hmm. And I just need to say publicly, shame on all of you.
Yeah.
Shame on you. Grow up. I've grown people taking set guns, loading them with ammunition to shoot tin cans to pass the time. Oh my God, your job is so boring. You get paid all that money to fucking make movies. Wow.
Yeah, and yet they don't have any time to check for safety or do anything on set because they're being rushed. But they have time to go, fun practice shooting.
And here's the thing. Alec Baldwin is, legal experts are saying he's very, very much liable as a producer, not for having pulled the trigger, but as a producer in the production. So on the business side, he's going to be with everybody else grouped in liable. and whoever knows what else is going on. And I get that, but Jesus Christ, can you imagine how he feels?
Yeah.
Having had that happen, he took a life, not even like, oh, we're out hunting and I accidentally misfired.
Right.
This was like the furthest thing from anybody, especially his mind. And then bam, it happened and it's just done. It's over.
Yeah.
Can't do anything about it. Can't take it back. And then to have to deal with this too. I mean, but that's kind of the thing.
Yeah.
When you put your name on the big P list, as a producer, you are opening yourself up to everything and anything.
Well, it's your job.
It is. It's the captain of the ship. Now, as an actor, right? I don't feel it was his responsibility to do all the set management because he was acting.
Right.
That's why you have directors and assistant directors and other producers and everything on set,
Yeah.
So anyway, just so tragic and so stupid. I hope this bill passes that's being presented in California.
I hope so too.
A lot of people have been speaking up they've been against this forever and ever and ever. Let's hope something good, and I hate saying it, something good comes of this tragedy. I mean, I
get it.
Yeah. I mean, she's still gone.
Yeah.
This woman is gone.
Helena.
Yeah. And her husband, her family, no good will ever undo what the rest of their life is going to be like. But it's like everything else from,
you dinged.
I dinged. Why did I ding? Oh, you know what? I think I got some things open here. Also had some technical issues, folks. Apologize
prior to recording. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, did the Mac OS update, which is fine, but some of our older plugins had an absolute shit fit. Audio plugins. We don't use them anymore, but they're there. Right. But I surgically removed them and all is well. But I also left my mail open. So anyway, yeah, let's see if we can't do something so this never happens again.
Yeah.
Right. And I hope it expands, not just beyond firearms, but let's take a look at really what's necessary to make a movie. I am perfectly fine with actors, you folks, green screen it. Don't let anybody talk you into dangerous shit. Right? It's not going to get you an Oscar. It's not going to move you up. None of this bullshit. I mean, we love what we do, right? We write, and you love acting, and people love directing and all that. None of that shit's worth risking your life for.
No,
nothing.
It is not.
No. So, maybe this is a turning point.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's, unless you got something else, let's go ahead and talk about this movie. I'll bring it in.
Really briefly.
Sure.
I watched Midnight Mass on Netflix. I know it's been out for a little while.
Yeah.
And I was a little late to the party.
Yeah.
So to speak. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it. That's all.
That's fine. Before we begin, let's just note that once again, we had to watch this separately.
Yes.
Scheduling is going to be this way for a while. And it's kind of a bummer because I can only imagine the shit you would have been saying.
Oh, half your fun is watching me watch the movie. I know.
Yeah. Now, my notes, I'll admit, I cheated a little bit. I skipped forward certain parts of the movie that I knew were nothing I needed to take notes on. Hey.
Just like so, in case that was inaudible, I did this.
Yeah, me. And, fans of Psych, you'll know what that is. All right. Are we ready to do this?
Yeah, tell us about this movie.
Okay, so this week we are doing Naked Lunch. 1991, directed by David Cronenberg, written by William S. Burroughs, who wrote the book,
Yes.
And then David Cronenberg
adapted it.
Yep. Starring Peter Weller, Judy Davis, Ian Holm, and actually like a bunch of other people.
A bunch more, but they're the main three.
Right. But I just want to say Julian Sands. I just love seeing him and stuff. All these people.
Well, the guy who plays Kiki, I can't remember what his name is, but he had a heart attack or something and died in like 2006 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And because I was like, gosh, I know him from somewhere, and so I looked him up and saw all the stuff that he has been in.
Right.
And he's fabulous, and he's so adorable. And I was like, oh no.
I know. Okay, so it's rated R. Budget is between 16 and 17 million. The plot, log line: after developing an addiction to the substance he uses to kill bugs, an exterminator accidentally kills his wife and becomes involved in a secret government plot being orchestrated by giant bugs in a port town in North Africa. Now, one caveat. We're calling this a B movie. This was a big production.
It was a big production.
Okay. A lot of people were behind this.
Yes. Had a big budget.
Yeah. But its initial release was 5 theater screens.
Yeah.
It did not make its money back.
Nope.
It is a cult classic. Deservedly so, because
is it?
The thing with the cult classic, there's only a handful of people who like it.
Yeah.
Like, I meet more people who do not like Rocky Horror Picture Show than like it.
That's true, which is unfortunate.
Well, but it's great, because then it's like, well, move along.
Yeah. Fine.
Yep. There's
we'll keep it for ourselves.
Yep. There's no parking space for you here in my life. Go.
Yeah.
What
was it we were talking to Lily about in the car the other day? We were like, I wouldn't trust someone if we didn't like this movie, or if they didn't like this movie.
Oh,
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. And that has rung true.
It is. Yeah.
Oh, I don't like Forrest Gump. You're not my kind of people.
I don't know what kind of person you are.
Oh, man. So anyway, because of this extremely limited release, and we'll talk after we go over it, some of the history of this and, what went on and our thoughts and stuff. But, I'm just going to call it a B movie, because that's the thing. An A movie opens in hundreds of theaters.
Yeah, it was never intended for a wide release.
Right. And a lot of people just didn't want to.
Yeah.
Anyway, why don't you start with this film?
Film.
I love saying film. Please show me the film.
All right.
Okay.
So this is a period piece. New York City, 1953. So we start out with an exterminator guy, our dude, entering an apartment, and he's spraying some yellow powder everywhere. And as he's doing it, roaches start to come out of the wall. They don't actually seem to give a shit about the powder.
Right.
And he runs out, so he goes and gets a refill, and he gets yelled at by the supervisor, who's like weirdly protective of it.
Yeah. I know it's like it's opium.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like he just asked for a jar of methadone or something. So then he's at a diner. He's talking to these two dudes who are talking about rewriting and how it's like dumb. Their conversation was so uninteresting to me.
I summed it up as his friends are talking hipster bullshit.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And then there will be a lot of this.
There
throughout.
is a lot of it.
Yeah.
And we learned that apparently someone is stealing his roach powder. Okay. He's not into writing. His friends think his wife is stealing it. And he goes home to find his wife shooting up bug powder. So
into her tit.
Yeah, into her tit. And her name is Joan. And apparently, according to her, his writer friends tried it with her, and that she says it makes you feel like a bug, a Kafka high.
Yeah.
Which I was like, literary reference. Maybe I'll like this. I like literary references.
Mm-hmm.
There are some of them, but it's not enough.
You wrote as much as I did. Calls it a literary high, a Kafka high, where you feel like a bug. But then it goes on quite a bit.
Yeah, it does. For a while.
And I just wrote, to sum it all up, the pretension is palpable.
Oh, yes. So he starts cooking some up. And then he's talking to more exterminators about different types of powder. And we learn our main dude's name is Bill. Mm-hmm. And he's been arrested by the cops for carrying around a dangerous substance. Apparently he has a history of substance abuse. And they're very suspicious about his yellow powder.
Yes.
To wit, I'm like, I mean, he is an exterminator? Okay. I haven't read this book. And I have literally no interest in reading this book.
No.
So I can't really compare the film with the book. But I don't care because it should be able to stand on its own.
Mm-hmm.
So they bring out this box that has a fucking gigantic bug in it and like plop it in the powder to see if the powder will kill it. And this bug loves the powder. It's like giving itself a little sand bath in it. And they lock him in the room with this huge bug. Okay. First of all.
Here it comes.
I can't wait. I can't wait until the end.
You don't have to. It is our show.
That's true. No one's paying us to do this in a certain way.
Nope. Pour it out, darling.
Listen, if you're going to lock me in a room with a huge, and I'm talking like, you know, not like fist size, but like a laptop sized bug. Right?
Yeah, I would say it's almost the size of a beagle.
Yeah. It's enormous. And then lock me in the room with it and a bunch of, you know, bug powder that is apparently like crack. I don't know. Some things are going to happen. Right?
Yeah.
None of those things end up happening. Here's what happens. The bug starts talking to him out of a gaping asshole in its carapace.
Yes.
Are you okay?
I am just delighting in your reactions to this.
And
because I've been carrying this with me for a long, long time, and I've had nobody to ponder this with.
And the bug is just talking to him, and it's spouting a bunch of fucking nonsense that it makes no kind of sense at all. It's just like jibber jabber.
Yeah.
Like if you were like, hey, I need you to just write, like just improv, you know, a bunch of stuff that sounds maybe vaguely spy-like so that we can have it in the background, you know, of a movie, but tone drill down so no one can make out the words.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing. It goes on about shit like we're supposed to. None of this was laid out.
No.
Right? Usually like in some sort of dystopian, you know, setting or even like post-apocalyptic, anything out of the norm.
Yeah.
Right? We are given the environment, the world building.
And we are not given any of that here. For all we know, like what we're given in the very beginning of this movie just says New York City, 1953. So that is the time and place I am expecting.
Yep. And we got an exterminator with a wife who's shooting up his shit.
Right.
Apparently this shit is hard to come by, according to his boss. Not that it's hard to come by, but his boss doesn't like letting it go.
Right.
I don't know.
And this bug tells him it arranged everything just to talk to him.
Yeah.
And then he starts sprinkling some powder on this bug, like, butthole.
Yeah, it says, puts him on my lips.
And it's like, ugh, it starts moaning. And then it says it has instructions for him to kill his wife.
Yeah, from control.
Yeah.
Whatever. And
she's an agent of something.
Interzone Incorporated.
Yeah, they kept saying Interzone, and I was like, I don't fucking care what Interzone is. And while it's talking, Bill is secretly taking his shoe off, and he smashes the bug and like breaks out of the police station.
Yeah, with shoe in hand.
Yeah. Oh my God. And then we see Joan, and she's breathing on the wall in the apartment. And apparently her breath is so fucking terrible that it can kill cockroaches.
Well, it's because it's laced with the poison.
Well, he doesn't even need the powder. He can just bring her with him.
Right.
To kill bugs.
Yeah. Just like put her on a trolley and, pump her stomach like a fucking bellows.
Right. And then Bill comes in and says he got busted and they have to get out of town. And I'm like, what? He wasn't doing anything.
Right. He says, we've been made.
Yeah. Which is like,
okay. Yeah.
And she freaks out when he hasn't brought back any bug powder, but she has a secret stash in her bra and asks him to rub it on her lips, and then they make out. So there's that.
Yep. I almost want to just let you do the whole thing.
Do you want me to?
No.
Because I will.
So after all that, a while later, Bill's friends end up at the apartment shooting up with his wife, and she says she was just bored.
Oh, well, you missed him visiting the doctor and him giving him the centipede powder.
I didn't miss anything. I just chose not to note it.
Okay. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Let's just let's keep going.
Okay.
Save it to the end. So at one point, there's just all this weird shit. He ends up like shooting her up in the ankle. At one point, he pulls a gun out of their vanity to look at it. And I just, made the note, foreshadowing.
Sure.
Yeah. Now,
is it though?
Again, well, a little bit. Not long.
No.
But, I have the benefit of having seen this several times to try and make sense of it. So my notes are a little bit different.
I will never watch this movie again.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Completely. So anyway, now that they're all fucked up, Joan puts a glass on her head and, wants Bill to shoot it. So he does, but he hits her, shoots her in the head.
Yeah.
Instead of the glass. Now, the one thing I wrote about this is no one is really worked up about this.
I actually wrote their very subdued reaction is right on point for the film.
Yeah. Yeah. So
apparently this isn't a big deal.
No. So then, then we have Bill somewhere having a drink. He's talking with some stranger about sexual ambivalence. And then the guy's like, I got someone I want you to meet. And he gets up and next to him is a mugwump.
Yeah.
And mugwumps are these weird, now for the film, they made these weird.
Like alien looking.
There is nothing fucking like it before or after.
Yeah.
Before, because I don't think anyone wanted to dream that shit up. And after, I think because no one wants to be associated with a mugwump.
Sure.
But I'm going to, a little spoiler. My big takeaway from this film is mugwump.
Okay. I
like the word mugwump.
Sure.
I don't know why. And I don't think I actually use it. I haven't found the right venue.
Sure.
Or situation.
I get it.
So anyway, the mugwump talks to Bill, goes on about his report to Interzone, offers him a ticket to Interzone, a plane ticket. Then Bill sells his gun. Well, he goes in, he trades it for a typewriter. And then one of his friends comes rushing in. The police are after him because he killed his wife and he escaped from the police station.
Right.
Let us not forget that that's still an open thing. So then we find out Bill is somewhere in Africa, North Africa.
He's in Interzone, apparently, which I thought was just like a spy company, but now is a place.
Right. Then, he's just wandering around. It's like a, bizarre, like, Casablanca and all that stuff. And he ends up in a room full of giant bugs that are dead. And they're being ground up and made into some kind of shit. And So much goes on in this. All I wrote was so much goes on, and it's a lot of nothing.
Yep.
Much later, Bill spots a giant centipede and breathes on it. It drops dead. And then oh, God, I totally blew over.
Well, I can take over here if you want.
Well, no, hold on. Let me go back. So what happened? Hold on. Plane ticket. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. So before we find out he's in Africa, I don't know what's going on. We see him typing up a report on the murder of his wife for Interzone.
Yes.
Right. And he's at a diner where everyone has a giant ass typewriter at their table.
Yes.
So this is in 1953 version of Starbucks with everybody with their laptops.
Yeah, it's wild.
Only everyone has these, great model. I will say this. If you're into typewriter pornography, this is the movie for you.
That's fair.
Because, there are some typewriters in here.
That's true.
Models you've never heard of. But if you know the evolution of typewriters, there were some one-offs and companies didn't last long, but they made some beautiful, extravagant shit. I don't mean like, bells and whistles and stuff. You just look at them and you're like, I'd love to type a page on that.
I'm in a typewriter repair and maintenance group on Facebook, not because I care about typewriter maintenance and repair, but because they post a lot of pictures of really dope looking typewriters. That's the only reason.
I'm going to use this little segue here. Folks, look up the documentary California Typewriter.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
It's about a typewriter repair shop in California. They nearly went down. They did a documentary. They managed to keep themselves afloat. Even Tom Hanks is in it, talking about the typewriters are fucking magnificent. I mean, we have that Underwood.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I just, anyway.
It's almost 100 years old now.
I know. Yeah. 3 years. It's a 1924 model.
Yeah. Getting there.
Yeah. So anyway, everyone's in there typing up whatever they're writing. Some dude comes over and bothers him, and he ends up packing up his typewriter and taking off. And then we get the
big centipedes being ground
big centipede, more talk. And then we're back at the diner full of typewriters. That's what made me realize I'd somehow missed that whole paragraph. And then we have more talk about drugs. Oh, fuck me. Do you want to go from there?
Yeah, you're kind of like jumping around a lot here. Because before he's back in the diner, he's in his room and his typewriter starts writing on its own while he's high. And then his typewriter turns into a big bug.
Yeah, I skipped over it because I just didn't care.
And he tries to leave. And then the bug typewriter asks him to type some words into him about like homosexuality being a good cover for an agent. And so he's like, oh, okay. And he starts typing into the bug's face. Mm-hmm. And this really jazzes the bug.
Oh, yeah. Everything in this movie jazzes the weird shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird. So, yeah, then he's back in the diner and the centipede dealer that he met earlier is hassling him. And he sees Joan, his dead wife, but not Joan because she's alive.
Right.
And the Hans, who's the centipede dealer, says that she and her husband are writers. And they often have young men come to their house for fucking purposes. But she doesn't like Hans.
No.
So Hans asks a boy who is the same one who was in New York, who introduced him to the mugwump, to get Bill in with the couple. For some fucking reason. I don't know. And then they're at this party at this couple's house, I guess. And Joan is asking if he comes here for the boys. And everyone in this movie thinks that he's gay. And he keeps maintaining that he's not. But he seems, I mean, like, it's not that it matters, but everyone makes a real big fucking deal out of it.
Well, let's put a pin in that.
Yeah.
It does matter. It does matter in the subject matter.
Okay.
Well, we'll come back to that when we're done.
Right.
Right.
So then the husband takes his arm and walks off with him, talking about the typewriter. And at this point, I started taking fewer notes because I was like, what is even happening? But then the husband says that he's slowly killing his wife and also talking to Bill telepathically. And then Bill's like, yeah, I'm out. And then there's a dude in a white suit finds Bill coughing on the beach, and he introduces himself as Clogie or Clokey or something. And he buys Bill breakfast. And he also is on about Bill being gay, having arrived with the boys that Bill arrived with at the party.
Right.
And then Bill says it's been a curse in his family, and he goes on about some homophobic nonsense for like quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then Clokey invites him for a drink at his place, and Bill's like, nah. And this is when Bill goes back to his hotel room and kills that centipede with his breath. And he's back in the diner, and he's talking to the writing couple, and he can't find Hans, the centipede dealer. So they tell him Hans was deported, and then offer him some drugs and also a typewriter to try out.
Yeah.
And then he's in his room writing letters about how lonely he is and how he's having problems with his drug withdrawal. And in my notes, here's what I wrote. I'm terribly, terribly bored by this movie. It feels pretentious. It's, I think this is what happens when you get too up your own ass about your creative work.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he lays down. He's disturbed by screaming, and then it's his typewriter bug killing the other typewriter bug, the one that he borrowed, which apparently that typewriter was an interzone agent. And then his bug tells him to fuck Joan and get her report.
Yeah.
So this is a weird scene that comes up next.
Yeah.
So he goes to see Joan. And they end up eating mushrooms and writing on an Arabic typewriter, even though he doesn't know Arabic. And I don't think she does either. And she says it's...
No, she does. She was typing.
Yeah.
And he's like, what is it? Is it something, this or that? And she's like, she wouldn't tell him what it was.
Right.
She was being very vague. But
and she says it's erotic, whatever she's writing.
Yeah. But the typewriter is magnificent.
Oh, it's a beautiful typewriter.
Oh, man.
Up until it opens up to like a fleshy interior. And then it has a long, weird dick come out of the back of it. And then it falls on top of them while they're fucking and humps them.
Well, the dick turns into this like sort of like face hugger / pseudopod with an ass.
Right.
Yeah. It is weird.
And then in comes some weird woman with a little whip who scolds them and chases the typewriter creature around.
Yeah, the housekeeper.
Until it falls off of the like veranda, and the husband finds it, and it was his typewriter, so he's understandably upset.
Right.
And he goes upstairs to find them getting dressed.
Yeah. I'm not even going to explain that. So the husband goes in with some guy with him, his boy Friday. And then there's something about plants controlling the wife.
Like pubic hair bundles under plants or something.
Well, he pulls a plant out and it's got this like root pocket, and inside of it is her pubic hair and fingernail clippings. And then it's like, you got to go through the house and get rid of all these plants.
But don't worry, because nothing ever comes of that.
No. And so her husband, Joan's husband wants his typewriter back from Bill because he gave him that one that got murdered by his other typewriter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. He says he doesn't feel safe without one in the apartment.
Right. Okay.
And I wrote, good God. So Bill and Joan go to some bazaar, and there's a woman cutting up another strange ass. There's so many fucking bugs.
Yeah, but it's the housekeeper.
And yeah, it's just more weird shit goes on, and then Bill ends up running off.
Well, she ditches him.
Well, he just like leaves the whole scene, you know. He sits at his typewriter and starts another report, this one on black meat. Later, the typewriter bug is back. There's more asshole talking, some bullshit that women aren't human.
Yeah, I wrote, are you fucking kidding me? Why is this movie so full of bigotry and misogyny?
We're going to get to that. And then we have some Joan and a whole bunch more of agent bullshit.
Yeah.
Right. And I wrote, there is nothing about this film that is intellectual.
Nothing.
Now, mind you, we are educated people.
Yes.
We have a very broad exposure to a lot of ideologies and things and history and, creativeness. There are creatives in the past who are just, batshit crazy. Yeah. Right. Van Gogh and his ear and Salvador Dali eating his own shit and just all these people.
Yeah.
Right. I get it. Because sometimes there's a massive imbalance. And they often say true creative genius comes with a massive amount of other deficiencies.
In some ways, I get that.
And not for everybody. I mean, there are some creative geniuses out there who don't eat their own shit, cut off their ears, or staple their testicles to their inner thighs.
Wait, you mean those aren't requirements?
No.
Shit.
The union
I need to stop doing all those things.
Unanimously voted. The creative union said that shit is no good.
Okay. Guess I'll stop then.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's one of the reasons I've watched this over and over, because I really have struggled to up to this point in the film try to absorb and understand, but we're going to talk about it. So anyway, aside from nothing in this film being fucking intellectual at all, it's just pseudo hipster bullshit talk from the 50s. I wrote, the guy with the Arabic typewriter comes banging in for his other typewriter, and it's in pieces on the floor. He says they're taking Bill's typewriter, and then the typewriter turns into a bug, tries to run away, and they bag it up.
Yeah. And Bill doesn't give a shit.
No. Later, Bill's sleeping on the street. His writer friends find him. Now, he's still in Africa.
Yeah.
They go somewhere and read pages out of he's carrying a fucking pillowcase with random shit in it.
Well, he had bagged up the broken typewriter that was in his apartment. That was the one that belonged to the husband.
Yeah, but when they look in it, all you see are his drug paraphernalia.
Yeah, it's just pill bottles and drug paraphernalia.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, where's the typewriter?
Well.
Right? Whoops. So anyway, they're reading pages from his thing that he doesn't remember ever writing.
Right.
So they end up going back to America. Bill gets blind drunk and high. Some dude finds him in an alley. And I wrote oh my God, there is such an unhealthy obsession with what they call typing machines.
Yeah.
Typewriters. And it really doesn't do anything for me.
No.
There's absolutely nothing going on with that whole concept. I mean, it's like everything else. Why? Oh, why? Not in this script, friend. And then now all of a sudden it's all about fixing this fucking typewriter. And I love this. They find this guy who's like a, master.
A metal worker.
Yeah. He just dumps the shit into a furnace.
Yes.
And then pulls it out and it comes out as a fucking mugwump head.
Uh-huh.
And then later we see him typing on it. And it's alive, like the bugs and everything else. Starts oozing shit out of its head tentacles.
Yeah, it jisms out of its head noodles.
Yeah. And we have more hallucinations, and now it's a full-on mugwump as he's communicating with it.
Yes, it has a body.
Yeah. And there's talk about working for the CIA, and then Bill walks over and milks the mugwump's head. I wrote head thingies because I still don't know what to call them.
I wrote head noodle jizz.
Head noodle jizz into his coffee.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to take it?
Yeah. And then, like, in his bed in the hotel is Kiki, who's the boy.
Right.
So they end up in a nice car with Clokey, the guy in the white suit from earlier.
Yeah.
And Bill starts talking about a guy who taught his asshole to talk. It takes him like 15 full minutes to go through this story that has no point to it.
Do you want to hear what I wrote for that whole thing?
Sure.
So later they're in some guy's car driving somewhere. And then this is what I wrote for that whole stretch. More diarrhea of the mouth on the drive than they are somewhere.
Yeah.
That summed it up. Because none of that fucking conversation adds anything.
Yeah. So then they're at Clokey's place, and Clokey is trying to, like, get on with Kiki, who is not into him.
Right.
And Bill asks him about the doctor who he met, like, for 2 seconds one time earlier in this film, but it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And Clokey doesn't want to tell him anything. And then Bill's like, well, I'll whore out Kiki for the information. And he goes into the guy's library, does nothing in there, and comes back to find a giant centipede, like, anal raping Kiki to death in a bird cage.
It was a little more than that.
Yes.
Because in the one semi-wide shot, it's actually a single thing at the bottom, and it sprouts out to be Kiki and this weird fucking thing with its things in its temples and his cheek on the one side.
Yeah, it's just inside him in all the places.
It really is.
And so Bill runs away.
Mm-hmm.
And then his mugwump typewriter tries to talk to him at his house or a hotel or whatever. And Bill's mad because apparently this alien set him up to be in Kiki's place, I guess. So he bags up the head and goes to Joan's husband to trade typewriters.
Mm-hmm.
And Joan's like MIA. But he tells him, and this is fucking hilarious, well, because she ran away from you, that means she's interested.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
So they trade typewriters, and the husband offers him a gun. Why? I don't know. His old typing bug is real beaten up, but it gives him key information, where to find Joan. How it knew this? None of this is explained. This movie is just such a crock. The bug dies while they're talking for some reason. And then Bill goes to some warehouse, which has a lot of mugwumps strung up, like hanging, hog ties style, hanging from the ceiling and being milked from their head noodles by junkies.
Yeah. They're getting high off of mugwumpjism.
Yes.
And that is exactly what it is.
That is the words that they use. So he finds Joan there, and then the weird lady, Fidela, who is the housekeeper / whatever.
Yeah.
And then this is hilarious. So he finds Joan, and he sees that lady, and then he asks Joan to take him to that lady. And I'm like, well, but she was just fucking there. Like, if you walk 20 feet that direction, you're going to find her.
Yeah.
And Hans, the centipede dealer, is also there, chained up under a mugwump.
Yeah.
And then the housekeeper lady comes out looking like a horse jockey, smoking a huge cigar.
Yeah.
And then she rips her chest apart, and underneath her skin is a gray-haired man who we're supposed to recognize. The doctor?
Well, here's what I wrote. right?
Okay.
So she comes out, shows off her tits for like 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that was unexpected. Every time I've seen this, I just can't help but remember my first thought. Well, that was unexpected. And why are we doing this? Then after, we get to see her tits, then she pulls her chest apart and out steps Roy Scheider.
Yes. Who is, I guess, the doctor from earlier.
Yeah.
But we only ever saw him the once, and he didn't make a big impression. And now, okay, sure.
Well, that's supposed to be the kind of the thing. Like, if you think about Hunt for Red October, the cook's assistant is actually the KGB agent, so they always make him, they put him on screen just so you can see him, but they don't want you to remember him.
Yeah.
They want you to recall at the big reveal.
Well, then he goes into a really long monologue. Ultimately, I don't give a fuck what his monologue is about.
Oh, it's long and expansive.
Yeah. But none of it matters.
Nothing matters. I summed it up as he's the mastermind behind all kinds of shit.
Yeah. But nothing matters anymore in the world, in life, in this movie. Nothing matters. I've lost all hope.
Do you want me to close it out?
No.
Because it's only like 3 sentences.
They make some sort of weird agreement where Bill gets Joan. And then suddenly Bill's driving a red vehicle, a really fucking weird one, and entering someplace called Annexia. Okay. And the border guards insist that he proves he is a writer for some reason.
Yep.
And in the back is Joan, and he shoots her in the head again. They do the whole thing with the glass.
Yeah.
And then the guards are like, great, come on in.
Well, yeah, they look at each other, with that knowing, like,
I guess only a writer would shoot his wife in the head.
Yeah.
And my very last sentence for my notes for this movie is this. Whatever.
I have one more word than you.
Okay.
I wrote, we're done. So, as a fairly short summary.
Really? How long did it take us?
Oh, I don't know. But anyway, let's talk about this motherfucker. So I said we would talk about this, and let's talk about it. Why homosexuality, the whole thing is extremely important. So let's put this in perspective. This book was written, was it in 53 or 56?
I don't know. I can look it up.
One of the two. I can't decide which. Anyway, the book was met with such hatred. There was nationwide book burnings, bannings.
59.
Okay, there we go. So I had to go 3 more. 53, 56, 59.
Sure.
The reason it's super important is because back then, any mention of homosexuality was extremely controversial. And it's one of those things where people talked about it through this whole avant-garde kind of, I'm like this movie. I'm this thing, hipster doofus, douchebag, whatever. And it's essentially pornography, twisted fucking pornography. And I will just say, right, it's the only reason that we know the author's name, the only reason that this book found an underground thing is because it's time and place, right?
Sure.
If it had been 1949, he'd have probably just been killed. And I'm not joking. Someone would have just lynched his ass and nobody would have ever fucking heard of this. If even a publisher, probably would have just turned him into the police. Look what this fucking guy sent us, right? 10 years can make a difference. And there was somebody who was like, oh yeah, because we're talking, hipster times, right? We're talking, the instead of clapping, we snap our fingers, right? We do some poetry jams.
Some beat poetry.
Yeah. This was the beatnik era. And this is the kind of bullshit. The dialogue in this movie reflects the dialogue from the book, which is the dialogue from the time, which is so nauseating.
Garbage.
God damn. You can be an intellectual and not sound like a fucking tool and so obvious.
Yeah.
I can't stand people who use cliches. I can't stand people who use the same pad fucking responses in the book of, if you want someone to think you're an intellectual, say these 5 things. Fuck the 5 things. God almighty. So anyway, it's super important because that theme had to carry. I mean, you can't rewrite the whole story.
Yeah. I mean, right? It's just like it's pornographically bizarre simply for the shock value of it, but it has absolutely no substance.
No. It has, again, it's taken me years. There's just something about, there's not too many movies like this.
No, thank God.
And I'm like, because when I first saw it, like, what did I miss? I feel like I should like this. I feel like this should be in my pantheon of gotta see this movie.
Okay.
Right? But there was something nagging at me. And what was really nagging at me is that this is a, wannabe intellectual, not even intellectual, existential.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like somebody took existentialism, bent it over the table and hate fucked it with a train. Over and over and over and over. And what was left is this movie.
Yeah.
It is so smug.
It's so smug.
It is so pretentious. It is so obvious. And the thing is, nowhere do we get a break from it.
No. Not for 1 second.
No.
I had to, when I was watching this, I had to pause it multiple times. Like it took me almost 4 hours, I think, to fully watch this 2-hour movie, because I had to keep pausing and I was like, I need like to play Angry Birds for a minute.
Is that what you did?
Yeah. It is what I did.
Oh, I wish I could have seen that.
I need a break for a second. Like, I found myself desperately wanting to find other things to do that were not watching this movie. Desperately.
Well, here's the thing. So after all these years, I have finally come to the conclusion that I don't like this movie.
Yeah.
It offers nothing. Now, there are people who are going to listen to this and they like it, and power to you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. You may not like, you may not like Rocky Horror Picture Show. You may not like Ninth Configuration. You may not like, Dark Star. And that's fine. A lot of people don't like some of the stuff that we do and some of the obscure shit that we know about, that they're like, what is that? And why would you even know of it? This is one where we're on the other side of the fence, where, it hasn't occupied a large space in my brain all these years. But every time I see it pop up somewhere, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to watch this.
Well, you did that when you wanted to watch it for this. And I feel like maybe my visceral hatred for this gave you like the little nudge to be like, it's okay if I don't like this movie.
Here's the thing. In my past, like I said, I've been carrying this fucking baggage alone. I've not had anybody I could discuss this with at a level of understanding where I could exercise my demons. But, you are my soulmate.
Yes.
So, yeah, I was very anxious to have a compass. You are my compass in many, many things. Like earlier today, if I'd have somehow gone off the rails, you have a tendency to like steer me back.
I do stop you when it is necessary.
Well, not necessarily just stop, but sometimes, it's like if I'm going to be raging, you like redirect my rage if I like get off topic. Because when I go into a full rage, everything comes out.
I know.
The rage takes over. This movie, the reason I've settled on I don't like it is because of all those things. Pretentious. This is a good example of a piece of work, which is the novel, doesn't necessarily translate to the screen well.
Well, according to Google, because I haven't read the book is structured as a series of loosely connected vignettes. And it can be read, like the chapters can be read in any order, according to Burroughs. But this movie is structured far differently, right?
Well, yeah, because, they had to change. We talked about that.
Yeah.
You have to pound that shit into a movie,
Well, yeah, I think
a lot of changes and sacrifices.
Cronenberg, instead of like just going by the book, like also kind of combined sort of like a loose biography, like Burroughs, bio.
Yeah. Well, and not to piss on Cronenberg. Okay.
He's done some okay stuff.
Well, but here's the thing. Everyone lauds directors like universally. There is no director out there who is, batting 1,000, if you want to fucking get into sports metaphors. Every single one of them has made a massive pile of shit. Some multiple. Steven Spielberg, great director, great guy, great visionary, but he has produced more fucking misses than hits.
This is true.
And people don't want to see these things. Lucas, everyone, and then we get into, like everyone hails George Romero. Hey, Night of the Living Dead was something new and fantastic, but I will go on record as saying he's not necessarily the horror director.
No.
Right?
He paved a road.
Right.
Right.
And I get that. Not every director's a winner. Like J.J. Abrams. I wasn't a big fan of the whole Star Trek reboot thing.
Sure.
But I figured, we lost half of the original crew to age. So they got to do something. And, even William Shatner said, it's to a point now, nobody wants to see a bunch of geriatrics hurtling through space, trying to save Earth over and over again.
Although Shatner himself recently did hurtle through space.
Yeah. Hold on. Leg cramp. Oh, I've been fighting this all.
Oh, my dear.
Oh, and I'm not going to stop recording.
Listen to his pain.
Oh, man. Fuck me with a ladle or something. Shit, this hurts. Why? I
don't know, babe.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
I'm going to push through it.
Can I say something?
Please.
Okay. I like movies. I like moments in movies, typically, not like as a rule, but usually I find myself when a movie or a TV show or any kind of, media has scenes that make me uncomfortable in the way that like they're forcing me to confront something about myself that I don't necessarily like, right? Or that makes me think about stuff that I typically kind of push to the back. Right? Like there was sorry.
No, go ahead. No, go.
There's a scene in the second season of Ted Lasso where he's talking to, I don't want to give too much away for people who haven't seen it, but there is a scene in that show that makes me like extremely uncomfortable, but in a really good way. Because it's like helping to kind of push out some poison. Right?
Yeah.
But this movie tries to make you uncomfortable. And it tries really, really hard to do so. But it doesn't actually hit any nerves when it does that. It tries to make you uncomfortable in the bad way. and not in the, like, this is something profound. This is something you can identify with. It just tries to make you uncomfortable for the sake of making you uncomfortable.
Right.
So that you can be like, oh, it's so novel. Oh, it's just bullshit.
It is. Trying to see you through the
I can see your eyeball.
My eyeball? I've had to reposition myself because this fucking thing just won't go away. So I'm very casual right now. No, that's the whole point. Back when we did Who's Watching Oliver?
Yeah.
I went on a tirade about why it's a piece of shit.
That made me uncomfortable in a bad way.
Well, yeah, but the whole point was art is supposed to inspire, and that doesn't mean move you to like great heights and accomplished world-changing things, right? It's supposed to do the things you said. I like being challenged.
Yeah.
The thing with Who's Watching Oliver is I don't call it art. And I went on a whole big thing, like, I fully respect Kevin Smith, but he's like, never, no one should ever tell an artist not to create. Bullshit. There are things we don't need.
Yeah.
It's not art. And the misogynistic nature of that movie, it is horrible.
Yeah.
And it served no purpose at all.
Nope.
And it was gratuitous. I guess, if you can do something that is interesting and expose me to something to make me feel uncomfortable, to think about things like you said. I mean, I fully agree with everything that you said. And that's really what art is supposed to do.
Yeah.
It's supposed to challenge you and inspire you, right? Not repulse you. It's like the whole thing of, and I've said it before, the guy who, puts out canvases of white oil paint or acrylic. I can't remember which, but anyway, then he pisses on it. No, you're not going to sell me on that.
Yeah.
All right. You're not. It's lazy. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. So Who's Watching Oliver was just, giant piece of shit. But we did say, on the technical side and everything, they did the work, but the subject matter, we didn't need it. Yeah. We don't need any more of this bullshit. You can do movies about, violence against women, about hatred, about racism, without actually like overplaying it.
Well, and I mean? Like there's got to be a point to it. Well,
there's got to be a point, but you can also make those points without being so graphic. Now, I will say there are certain things, like if you're doing, like we talk about biopics and stuff, right? Stay true to it. And somebody goes through something horrible. I mean, we got to see that something horrible, but like if it's a sexual assault, we don't need, 15 straight minutes. If you're an actual creative, you can fill me in without showing it and without going on and on about it. Right.
Yeah.
A writer, a director, and an actor, the three of them together, if they're worth their weight in anything, can present that without actually having it on camera.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, none of that is here.
No.
Everything that we are shown it's supposed to be like mind-blowing, mind-altering, make you think, all this and that. And it's boring. It's distracting. It's untethered. Every bit of it is untethered.
Yeah.
Like I said, when you have a dystopian setting, right? You always give somebody a little something to go on.
Right.
Why is it dystopian? What is the main practice in this new place that we're going to challenge later in this film? Right?
Yeah.
You don't just have some fucking exterminator with a strung out wife on insecticide, get killed. And then all of a sudden there's agents and stuff. And here's the thing. I don't know if this is supposed to have been part of it, but it's like, it didn't make me wonder this in a creative way, in an intellectual way. It made me wonder this as does anybody actually know how to write? And the whole thing of like, what's the hallucination? What isn't?
Right.
Right? Because almost everything in this movie is about him hallucinating.
But it's shared with other people too, which is weird.
But, they threw the dick turned face hugger with an ass that was, ushered off by Brunhilde off the patio, crashes to the ground as an Arabic typewriter.
Right.
So, Joan's husband doesn't see, this face hugger with an ass. He sees his typewriter.
Right. But her chasing it around the room like it was moving on its own.
Right.
Right.
So anyway, God, I don't know. It's exhausting.
I have some more things.
Do some more things.
Here's something that really infuriates me. And this is an endemic problem. Reading the reviews of this movie, and I'm ignoring the book, right? But when I went and pulled the information from IMDb, I skimmed the reviews. And there's so many that are like, Cronenberg's masterpiece. And like all that kind of stuff. And like go into like a deep psychological evaluation of this movie as though they actually fucking get it, which they can't possibly because there's no point to it. Right? But this happens all the time where like reviewers and people, who are like critics, well, like actual critics who get paid to do, critiques of art, any art, movies, books, paint, sculpture. If it's garbage, just fucking say it's garbage. Don't pretend that you're a higher intellectual who gets like the pain that the artist put into the piece or whatever the fuck you're making up to make yourself sound smarter. Don't do that for God's sake.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. So most of those reviews are from people.
Yeah.
That's the thing these days. There are no more real movie critics.
Right.
Because the few people who are actually critics and have been, if you look at their body of work from 20 years ago through today, you can see the shift. You cannot differentiate them from bloggers, right? Because they've shifted the way they do things, just like the news media. Everything has shifted to this, social media, new blah, 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 blah bullshit. Where any craft is abandoned because apparently, the young generation of people absorbing this, they deem too fucking stupid and lazy to, too many words might scare them and big words will send them running. It's that whole, if you can't read it on the shitter from beginning to end, don't write it. Right. That's the approach that they're taking, which is sad. Because they want to remain relevant. Mm-hmm. And I just hate that. It in and of itself is an abuse. But anyway, the people who like this movie will rate it highly, call it a masterpiece, and so on. People like us who don't like it are going to say this was not his finest hour. Mm. And the lesson here is even the greats make turds.
Yeah.
And how do you know what you're making isn't going to be a turd? You don't.
Right.
You just don't. Yeah. I mean, if you want to take a chance, take a chance. But here's the things that we keep talking about. Have an A-line for the story. From beginning to end, have something cogent and tangible for the audience member to grab onto.
Naked Lunch has neither of those things.
No, because they just keep like bringing up shit. And this whole agent thing is just like a thing. It just...
Yeah, he's not actually doing anything.
No, and it's just so dumb. The concept is just so stupid. But here's that thing. It's trying to get up into the hipster level. back in the late 50s. And, it fit that group of people and the mentality and the way they saw things. That's fine.
There was a lot of that in the early 90s too, when this movie came out.
Well, it was a resurgence.
Yeah.
If you remember, we went from the 80s, from all the big hair and the wild fucking colors and stuff and like polyester leisure suits and shit. To grunge, which was the new beatnik kind of thing, right? Breaking the rules, not adhering to the societal expectations. Nirvana looked nothing like a band. Remember, we just went through the whole fucking generation of boy bands and glam rock, right? We have, because of the invention of music videos, we saw our favorite groups basically become whores and do their fucking music in the wildest get-ups and stupidest videos. Relevance. Capitalizing on it, right? Just terrible. And then we hit the 90s where someone was thinking, we really have to do something different because that shit has to go and has to go quick. All the 80s stuff. So we had that. And I like grunge music and all that. But this wasn't the only film in the early 90s to try desperately to reach some level.
This is true.
But anyway, have a story with a plot that can be identified.
Yeah.
That's like number one, not even going to talk about trying to sell this to producers and stuff. If you're an indie filmmaker and you're just making your own shit, I implore you, have a plot.
Yeah.
That's consistent.
Well, here's the thing though. One thing, and I have just thought of this, and I had to look up real quick. You saw me typing.
Uh-huh.
I had to look up real quickly at like examples of it because I could only think of a couple and I wanted to have more than a couple.
Sure.
So I like this genre of like magical realism.
Right.
Right. Which I think this is trying to fall into. Right. It's the normal world, but there are like just a couple of things that are a little off about it. Right.
Okay.
But it doesn't do it. And like, it can be done so well. And like Big Fish.
I loved Big Fish.
I loved Big Fish too. I think it's Tim Burton's best movie.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Because it takes us through life as a child, our childhood, right? Mm-hmm. We believe anything. All these big, fantastic stories.
Yeah.
Right? And I cried at the end.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because,
I cried like a little baby.
And I mean, Ewan McGregor, and I love Albert Finney.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he's been a staple in my life in film since day one. Mm-hmm. And it was just done so well that last bit where they all show up for his funeral and you're like,
yeah. Yeah.
That
it was all real.
It weren't
right?
fishtails.
Yeah.
Right. And I love with that there is fucking magic out there that's just too wild to believe, but believe in it. What does it hurt?
They're very rare.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But I love them.
Yes.
Which is why I was actually really excited to watch Naked Lunch, because I was like, this is a magical realism movie. Right. Tom Robbins is a magical realism author.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so I pulled up some examples like Pan's Labyrinth.
Right.
Birdman.
Yep.
The Shape of Water, which I haven't seen, but
we haven't seen
really want to see it.
Loved Birdman.
Guillermo del Toro does a lot of magical realism, and he does it pretty well. Life Aquatic.
Mm-hmm.
Just like that little bit of something kind of special, like The Green Mile.
Right.
Amelie as magical realism. Like, it can be done really well.
Yes. I just want to say, so to me, some of Stephen King's greatest stuff
Oh, yeah.
Is the stuff that's just slightly off center of reality.
It's his magical realism stuff.
But it's when he gets into the full on, fucking horror, like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really big on that stuff, but I loved
it. Was laborious, but I will always love Jerusalem's Lot, the short story, because it's real simple.
That's why I love Hearts in Atlantis.
Yeah, it keeps it simple, and there's this obviously one thing that defies the reality that we know.
Yeah.
But that's the creepy shit. It's the stuff that's just past the line.
Yeah.
Not way past the line.
Right.
Now we've got, beings that are floating through the universe and have all this great power and they're demonic. And the same thing with The Stand. It's like, This is good up until now you made it this giant fucking thing. I was not a fan.
Yeah.
But like Running Man, not the movie, the book, because the movie is not at all the book.
Oh, Lawnmower Man?
No, Running Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Running Man, the book, it's actually this guy, he travels across the world. He's running from all these fucking people. And if they catch him, bad things happen.
Yeah.
Right? That's the thing. It's not a game show where he's pimped up in some weird gladiator outfit and that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the magic of Hollywood altering shit. Yeah, fuck Lawnmower Man. I don't want to talk about that. But the short story, that's another thing.
Right.
There's no resolution to why this, we don't know anything about this guy other than what he, does his prayer to the goat god and stuff. But you're thinking, what would I do if some fucking guy came and started eating like all the grass in my backyard and his belly expanded and he's got blah, 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 grass juice and stuff and he's talking about goat gods and then off he pops to somewhere else, right? So, well, that happened.
Yeah.
Who do you share that with?
Right?
And that's going back to Big Fish. That's the thing, right? Something that's just too fantastic to believe only because it's just off the line.
Right.
It doesn't take much to be, quote, too fantastic. Naked Lunch doesn't offer anything that's too fantastic. It offers a bunch of shit that's confusing.
Yeah.
I will say, too, another big lesson. So Naked Lunch has, so the book, I don't know how it still survives today, if it does. This movie, I also don't know how, if it is surviving out there as a cult classic still. The marginalization of homosexuals is rampantly, rapidly offensive.
Yeah.
And destructive.
Anyone who marginalization of women.
Well, that whole thing, they're a different species.
Women aren't human.
Right?
What?
I know. Some things don't translate well. I don't think it translated well in the 90s.
And it's not even like, it's not a conversation that they're having like as an ironic, you know what I mean, pointing out the problems with that line of thinking. It's genuinely a conversation. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, it's so
here's
gross.
My thing. I'm going to use Dave Chappelle as an example because that's still going. That's what's going on now in that world, right? With Netflix and Chappelle's show or his new special. There's so many things. All right, let me start off by saying being a creative, contrary to popular belief, does not give you license to marginalize people.
No, it does not.
And especially because like everyone's pissed off about the comments he made. Now, I'm not even going to watch the fucking show to hear the comments. I'm just going to go by what, everyone's reporting. To his defense, several comedians like, I'm a comedian and I'll be damned if I'm going to be censored. Here's news. Being a comedian does not give you license to do hate speech. It just doesn't. Fuck you.
Well, much like you have the freedom to say what you like, we also have the freedom to not accept what you say.
Well, and that's just it. But here's the thing. I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
Because this isn't the show for it. But I'll just say, I don't believe in freedom of speech. I don't believe we should be allowed these broad freedoms. I think there are things that are very harmful universally. Hate speech, no matter what people consider to be hate speech, that's a different thing. But hate speech is not acceptable, not in any context. It doesn't start conversations, right? I'm not talking.
No, it doesn't.
I'm not talking to people all over. Hey, did you hear about what Chappelle said about, LGBTQ and this and that? So, and trans people. Well, let's have a discussion on it. People, what you don't understand is discussions are never had. Everyone says it's opening important discussions. No, it's opening bitch sessions where people in Netflix are like, fucking, you put this on, we're your employees. And you basically just hit us in the head with a fucking mallet. Your dollar is worth more than who we are. And Netflix is, we're sorry, but, we have such a long-standing deal with Dave, and it's just creative.
It's not the first time he's been in trouble for this kind of thing either.
No. And I loved like the Chappelle show, and I really respected Dave Chappelle, but like so many others, he's flown off the fucking deep end a long time ago and is just wallowing in just all kinds of a quagmire of shit that we just don't need to be exposed to.
Yeah.
It
was like I was watching Gladiator with Lily.
Yeah.
And you and I were like, oh, remember when Kurt Russell was like nice? Was not crazy.
Not Kurt Russell.
Oh, Kurt. What the fuck is his name?
It's not Kurt.
No, it isn't. I forgot what his name is. I can't.
Look at it. I'm not going to tell you.
Are you kidding me?
Russell Crowe.
That's the one. You remember when he was not crazy?
Right. Yeah. Love that movie. Love Oliver Reed.
Oh, yeah.
His last
I love
film.
that movie.
Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. So, lessons to be learned from Naked Lunch, folks. If you haven't seen it, watch it, and bring a book. Bring your, have your phone out, get ready.
Have Angry Birds ready.
Yep, have Angry Birds ready. I mean, I can see there was a vision, but the execution was just not there.
Yeah.
And I think it became a self-absorbed sort of egomaniacal endeavor. Right.
Yeah.
Self-masturbatory bullshit.
That is exactly what it is.
Yeah. And there's a lot of that kind of stuff going on too in the movie.
Yeah, literally and figuratively.
I don't think for something like this. Now, horror movies, you shock people, right?
Sure.
That's why we watch them.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not a scare, but it's just something that's so fucking fantastically, morbidly, Jesus Christ.
Well, yeah, it was like, okay, it's not a movie, but Midnight Mass, I finished that show because I started it without you and you watched a few with me.
Right.
And then you asked me the next day, well, how did it end? And I was like, oh, no, you said what happened. And I was like, what happened?
Yeah, I had to watch the last 2 episodes. And I understood.
I wouldn't tell you.
Yeah, there was no way you could surmise that.
What happened?
But yeah, I mean, there was a lot of stuff that kept you watching.
Yeah.
And some of it was horrible, but not in, like a gore sense.
Oh, I don't think it was a perfect show by any means. There are some issues with it, but
there was, I'm not going to spoil anything.
Overall, I liked it.
But yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
And what kept me going is, where's this going?
Yeah. I don't know.
What's going on? And there'll be some people who don't like it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Let's not marginalize people. Let's not do shock value, right? Naked Lunch is full of sexual innuendo, and not the good kind.
No.
It's very homophobic.
Yes.
In its presentation. Almost, so like the young guy, right? They're all, anyone, he's such a caricature.
Oh, Kiki?
Yeah, it's offensive.
It is, yeah.
Right? But actors will see shit like this and like, let's give it a go. Because here's the thing. sometimes when you look at the script, right, you're like, huh, well,
maybe I just don't see it.
Maybe until we do it, and then the director and the editor get together and, piece the threads together. Because there are people who've shot movies and then gone to see them, and they're like, whoa, that is not at all what I was expecting.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you had the script, literally the blueprints, right?
Yeah.
But it's just that kind of thing. You can look at that paper all day and night. Like all of the shit that we have, we constantly wonder, what's this going to end up looking like when it goes on the screen?
All the time.
We have ideas, right?
Yeah.
But even people, like with Alien and stuff, they had no idea that xenomorph was going to look like that. They hired this guy, right? And he just pulled a fucking nightmare out of everybody's subconscious. And they're like, Jesus.
Xenomorphs are like the most, they're like the most terrifying creatures that ever did live.
And they're so simple.
Yeah.
Right?
And so many monsters have been loosely based off of them.
And it's funny because every time we see a xenomorph figure, like rolling through Target or wherever in the little collectibles aisle, Lily's like, nope. I was going to buy one time. She's like, that doesn't need to be in the house, That's pretty awesome for someone who's never seen Alien.
I'd love to have a big one.
Right. But then there's right next to it is figures of Jason Voorhees and all this stuff.
And she's like, whatever.
Yeah. She's like, fuck these guys. But fuck that. You are not getting that. Right.
That's hilarious.
I know. Do well. I implore you, do well. If you have a message, get the message out. But can we do it in a constructive way? I'm starting to slant towards all these lessons being, can we just change how things have been? Right? Can we not subjugate women? Can we not minimalize people based on their gender or sexual identity, any of that stuff? Can we stop looking at people's color as a way to differentiate and condemn and, disparage? Can we as creators create a new level? Let's eradicate Hollywood and the machine. Let's set our own standards, and let's let these standards finally be pious.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're putting stuff out into the world, if you're putting content out into the world for people to see, whether it's little shorts on your YouTube channel or whether you're making feature films or short films or whatever it is that you're doing, I mean, there is a level of responsibility because our culture is shaped heavily and influenced heavily by the media that we consume. And if you are creating media that is going to be consumed.
Right. And if you argue that, if you're listening and you're like, no, it doesn't. First thing that pops into my mind, how Stella got her groove back. When that book fucking came out, women across the country went apeshit. That was a breakthrough piece. It did what everyone wanted a book to do. Yeah. Right? And there are the history of the world, the turning of the tides, the changing of the seasons can be attributed to art, be it written, spoken, performed, whatever, right? There are those moments because we are a social creature and we are influenced. Just like everything that goes on in our day, we've talked about it before. Everything you do creatively is influenced by everything that's fucking happened to you today, yesterday, day before.
Oh my goodness, absolutely. Whether
you realize it or not, Let's not do this kind of stuff. Let's not try to shock people. Let's try to inspire and challenge people, but not challenge them by being grotesquely offensive. That's not a challenge.
Yeah. Naked Lunch is a self-indulgent piece of pretentious garbage.
Okay. I give that rating 5 stars.
Thank you.
All right. Is there anything more you want to unload on this, about this?
No, I'm okay.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Because of the budget, obviously all the technical stuff, the effects and stuff are.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, like, as a period piece.
Well, and for 1991,
pretty good.
say what you want, but getting those assholes to talk like that as practical effects, that was impressive.
Yeah, I guess. And the color, the color tone of the movie, I enjoyed the palette.
Yeah,
was used.
Yeah, when they did the color correction and set.
Yeah,
the tone. It was a noir film in color. That's how I always thought of it.
It felt very like Norman Rockwell.
Yeah, it just
visually.
Yeah, the tones were balanced in a way that just really.
Except all the sex organs and bugs.
Put you well, yeah, you know. Yeah. If you are a sexually uptight individual, run.
Oh, don't you're not
going to
like this.
Nope, don't watch. You'll never fucking sleep again, and you may have a stroke. So please don't watch it. Just take our word for it, and don't do those things. Anyway, you know, I feel like a terrible injustice has occurred, and I want desperately to correct it.
Well, we could watch Big Fish, because now I want to watch that movie again.
Well, we can watch it with Midge.
I bet Midge would love it.
Oh, she would. Anyway, so Naked Lunch, not liked, and my long journey is over.
I'm happy I could help you complete that journey.
I am too. I am too, because I don't ever want to fucking watch this again. To try, it's painful, and the amount of energy put into it to, you know, not sit with a shitty attitude and be like, oh, goddamn, this thing again. You know, it's almost like this fucking guy. Oh, this fucking movie. I'm done.
It's funny. I get that, because there have been things that I've seen where I was like, did I miss something? Am I just not getting this?
Yeah.
And so I watched it again, and occasionally, you know, sometimes I watch it again and I'm like, oh, I see now. But, you know.
I think we all have something like that.
Yeah.
A movie, I know I have quite a few, where you sit and you watch something and you're like, huh, I don't know how I feel about, did I like this?
Yeah.
Did this suck? It's like Astro Loco.
Yeah. We just had this conundrum last week.
Yeah. Liked it.
Yeah. I liked it.
It suffered a severe deficiency in the story, right?
Which you'd think would matter a lot for a movie, but not necessarily.
Well, it makes it a bit laborious. However, the actors were great. You know, we talked about the direction and stuff and all that. So, you know, you can fail on one level, but succeed on so many others.
Yeah.
This is the same kind of situation with Naked Lunch, only I'm not as wowed by the technical aspects, because for, you know, in 1991 for $16-17 million, I fully fucking expect you.
Oh yeah, you gotta nail it.
And Cronenberg
he wasn't a nobody in that.
No, he had access to all the shit. I mean, this was a movie.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't an indie film.
Well, yeah, based on his experience and resources and stuff, like getting the technical stuff right is a basic.
Right. You know, he's not some poor fucker who's, you know, trying to deal with Final Cut Pro or DaVinci. Yeah. And, you know, sort shit out. And you're like, what do I do with this? Yeah. Anyway, but so, Astro Loco beats them out because they did really well for next to nothing.
Yeah.
Right. We talked about that. And it also beats out that their story was fucked. This was fucked to a point where it's unforgivable.
There we go. Yeah.
You know, they jacked up Astro Loco. This was just a bomb. It was a critical failure all around anyway.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Sometimes you just should not adapt books into movies.
No. And if you do, let's make sure it translates well. And if it doesn't translate well, how about we do a little rewriting to make it relevant as to why it doesn't translate well, not just slap us in the face. For, you know, older folks, if you remember when Roots, Alex Haley's Roots, hit television, when they adapted his book to TV, there was a lot of hatred. I never understood. I was a kid. I'm watching. I'm like, this is fascinating. I mean, I understood about slavery and how terrible and shit it was, and just the to call it a travesty or anything doesn't even come close.
Yeah.
Right. This terrible dark moment in time. I got it, but that movie, that's one of the things that changed the course, because he brought it to life.
Yeah. He made it real.
Not just talking about,
instead
slaves
of just historically.
did this. Yeah, slaves did that. We actually got to experience through their eyes, through the life.
That's the power of cinema.
Well, and that's also the power of storytelling and family tradition. I mean, he got this from, his grandmother.
Yeah.
Right? Magnificent piece of work. So when that hit, it was unsettling because it was real.
Yeah.
And
it makes you uncomfortable in a good way.
Yes.
In an important way.
And it makes you understand a lot of things.
Yeah.
A lot of things. This movie is just killing me. Gotta purge it. So anyway, let's move on past Naked Lunch.
Okay.
Let's move on to our website.
www.lordsofmisrulproductions.com.
Everything's there. I've got BF McGillicuddy. Why? We have BF McGillicuddy videos. Yes. We have our podcast episodes.
Yep.
We have our blog, which is decidedly light on the written word.
I guess I could write some stuff for that.
But why?
I don't know.
That's the thing. When there's something truly notable, I'll pop it up there.
Sure.
But I don't like blogs because people it's diarrhea of the mouth. It's just, they're just expelling random shit just to be present. And I'm just not like that. I don't have the time for this nonsense.
I get it.
All the links and stuff that you need are on our website, Patreon, social media, please, whatever you're doing, listening, rate, review, subscribe, like, whatever the options are, click all the buttons.
Click them. Check out the people that we follow because they're pretty cool.
And I'm going to say this, and it's kind of funny because the people I'm saying it to won't hear it. There is a small problem with converting the audio into YouTube video.
Oh, no.
So what's currently running right now, Hunt for the Wilder People.
Yeah.
Is not on YouTube on our channel because I don't know what's going on. And I don't want to have to manually do it.
Well, yeah, if it gets resolved, we'll pop them back up. But
yeah, so, well, I mean, we'll see what happens when time for the next one to go up happens next week. So, yeah, YouTubers, you can't hear it. But I'm explaining why it's not there. I mean, how do you reach somebody?
So nice of you.
How do you reach somebody who uses a specific platform to get to your content and nothing else, and then that platform doesn't work? How do you fucking reach out to these people?
I don't know.
Do you see my conundrum?
I get it.
So maybe a listener knows somebody who listens to this on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, we can put on our social. If you follow us on YouTube, we're not putting episodes up right now on there because we can't.
I might just do it. I might just do a text video.
Sure.
Saying, this is what's going on. I might do that tomorrow. Anyway, all of our shit's there. Please check out BF McGillicuddy, and new episodes are going to keep coming.
Yeah.
And just talking about shit and venting.
I know.
Yeah. Going to do one. Not going to say what it's about because you got to go see it. But got an idea for the next one even.
All right.
I'm going to get angry.
Ooh.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well.
In the meantime.
Let's hope we have a better movie next week.
Yeah. We didn't pick one yet.
I'll pick one, I guess.
Sure. Well, we can look through and see.
I'll figure something out. I'll get a real treat for you.
We can go with a known. Our collection of B and indie films is not limited.
Oh, you know what? I know what one we can do. I'm not going to say it, though.
Okay. All right. So keep writing. Keep supporting each other. Let's get on each other's asses and, start calling each other out on these things that we've talked about that shouldn't be going on. And let's try to do better.
Yeah, and don't bring live ammo to movie sets.
How about just don't play with shit like that?
Yeah.
Right? Anyway. So, B-siders.
Until next week.
This is Jim.
And this is Dani.
And we will talk to you once again.
Bye.